We are live, theoretically. Hello, welcome to the Onyx Path Twitch channel. I am Travis Legg, your programming coordinator for the Onyx Path Twitch channel. And today we are presenting the Deviant the Renegades one-shot with Deviant developer and our story guide, Eric. I always mispronounce your last name. I feel like Zawadsky. See, I got it in 3. And I'm going to hand over the proceedings to Eric. So, Eric, do the thing. Wow us with your awesome storytelling ability.
Welcome. As some of you may have listened to the character creation, that's all right, Travis. Back up. Some of you may have listened to the character creation session that we did a few weeks back during the Kickstarter, where we made 4 characters in just a 1 session period. Today we're going to take those and cobble the story together with them. So I'm going to have each of you just kind of go around the room and give me a brief summary of your character, and then I will give you what the scenario is about, and we'll go on from there. Want to start us off there, Travis? You're the first one in my box.
Sure. I am playing Maximilian Cromwell. You can call me Max or Dr. Cromwell. I am a self-made pathological mutant. I don't have any skin. And that makes me sad. And angry. On occasion, homicidal. But I'm very good at faking like I care about people. I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Christian.
Yes, hi, I'm Chris, the Primogen, and I will be playing Professor Albert McDougan, who is a professor of mathematics who received a gift copy of an ancient Sumerian algorithm, which was weird, so he decided to try to solve it, and what do you know, happens to have been keeping a demon locked up. So that got into his headspace, and now this rational, logical kind of guy has to deal with the fact that he is now possessed by a spirit. So that's fun. He wakes up every now and then, has memory lapses, and also he's slightly addicted to causing people problems. So that's going to be fun.
Great. Ryan.
Yeah, hi, Ryan. I'm playing Tobias Hawke. Bonus points if you get the reference. Who is a violin prodigy who, unlike these two idiots, it's not his fault. Someone else put him up to it. Well, they signed away his, biological rights, and he is now addicted to body puppeting people.
And David.
Hi, I'm playing Adam Green, a overly anxious grad student that signed up to be a guinea pig for his favorite professor's experiment. And as a result, I've become an invasive. And while I have my skin, I wear an oversized hoodie because I'm a cyborg via a low-budget 80s sci-fi horror film. Like, I've got pieces of, motherboards sticking out of the back of my head and, pieces of monitors and probably a mouse, hanging off my back or something. He shoved computers into me. And so I'm hiding all of that with a hoodie and just trying to hang out at campus and get my classes in.
Looking like one of the Cenobites from Hellraiser 3.
Exactly.
Yeah, I described it as experimental macrotech cranial implants.
Yep.
Because it's not nanotech. It's really obvious that there's technology involved.
It's like a Kick Puncher from Community.
Yeah. Wow. That was an awesome character concept and kind of horrifying at the same time.
This is
right.
They're all awesome and horrifying.
Yeah, well, As far as I'm gonna pick the right mouse here. Okay. Got one mouse for the computer that has everyone's faces on it, and one for everything else. And our antagonist, or the conspiracy that they're up against, is the U of I School of Science and Mythology. I'm going to start referring to it as the school, which has 3 principles: are knowledge at any cost, people before profit, and many paths, one goal. Its virtue is determined, and its vice is fickle. It is, what is I? We don't know which state. There are several I states in the United States, and could be any of them. Now, for this scenario, you are renegades, technically, but you have not yet made your renegadeness known to the people who are holding you. And really haven't really even begun to reveal the depth of anger of the conspiracy. The conspiracy gives you freedom to move within the confines of the lowest layman's school of science and mythology, but it watches you closely to ensure that you don't leave. Remade scientists like Maximilian and Albert are not just permitted to continue their research into studies that prompted their divergence, but they are obligated to do so, because people will knowledge at any price. Yes, or knowledge at any cost, rather. Sorry. There's a variety of different types of divergences that happen on this campus because, many paths, one goal. They alone know how. Maximilian and Albert alone know how deeply the conspiracy's maxim of knowledge at any cost really runs and how personal it can become. Research expeditions offer one of the few opportunities to leave campus, albeit with an entourage of loyal scientists, devoted, and security personnel. We're going to start with our eager grad student, because you'd make a nice guinea pig. I mean,
It's true.
test subject, or starting point. That's what we're looking for. When you get a call into Dr. Peter White's office, Dr. Peter White being your progenitor.
Oh, heading right in.
Heading right in. Dr. White seems, I don't know, like he's received some news that he really, really doesn't like. When you get in, he's sort of sweating and sort of has a bottle of whiskey open on the desk, which you've never seen him drink before. But something is clearly up.
What's wrong? What's wrong, Professor? You seem troubled.
Adam, shut the door. Okay. So as you know, you were my greatest success. I have never, succeeded, but you're my greatest success. And most of my other attempts, they got the technology, but not the actual abilities that go along with it, which is always a disappointment. I just got some bad news I consider bad news from Dr. Helm, school's head, that he says that the time has come for me to get to the destination that we're all supposed to head towards, which is to diverge myself.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The problem is that while it worked on you and it didn't kill anyone who was in their 20s, I have never had any luck whatsoever with anyone over 25, and I'm pushing 40.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I try to do what he wants me to do, it'll kill me. I need help.
Oh.
I need out.
Okay. Yeah.
I understand that there are some remade on campus that might be sympathetic toward the idea of not being part of faculty and staff here at U of I.
Okay, great. Yeah, if you can point me to him, I'll get him here. We'll get a van or something, get you out of here.
He's making it seem like you should probably know who these people are, and you think you have some pretty good guesses.
I'm like that one professor that doesn't have skin.
Yeah, he seems angry. Yeah, that's all. Okay, so okay, so here's my plan, such as it is. It's really early phases. So there's an expedition through the occult library. We know the occult library. The school has learned of the existence of a remote mountain village whose inhabitants are the descendants of a wagon train that got lost during a blizzard along the Oregon Trail. The region has several anomalous properties and landmarks that make reaching it difficult, and the village's inhabitants are decidedly unwelcoming to strangers.
Okay.
The school wishes to send a research team to study the region and attempt to extend scholarships to some of its inhabitants, as research indicates the populace is particularly susceptible to divergence. My idea, and like I said, it's really kind of fuzzy, is to get there and make sure that whatever unfriendly locals are there, take care of all of our minders, and then take a plane back. I've been spending a lot of time on Flight Simulator lately, and I think I can get us out of there and get us to Oklahoma, where I've got a friend that can whisk us off. I think.
Okay.
I need your help.
Okay. What do you need me to do? I'll go do it.
Okay, we need to get whoever's going on the list, because I'm not on the list yet.
Sure.
We need to get there. We need to get up the mountain and make sure that everyone who isn't part of the conspiracy is either suppressed or eliminated.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me go find the other remade on campus. I'm sure they're going to want to get out of here. So
awesome. Thank you, Adam.
And I'll head out and try to find whichever one I think would be the nearest at this time of day.
Anyone want to volunteer?
Who wants to volunteer to be found?
I'll be close.
Fine. I mean, probably just in like a coffee shop anyway. So.
Okay, sure. I will go walk to the just off campus coffee shop. And you would see me come in laying low underneath like an XXX hoodie that's like baggy on me like I'm a child. And I would just kind of do the slide up thing that they always do in movies, even though that makes no sense. Like, hey, Professor Eric, what's his name? Professor what?
Professor Peter White.
Wait. Professor White needs people like you and I and the one professor with no skin to head over to his office. We've got to work on something. I say that all in hushed tones because, you know, the professor with no skin is going to freak out normies.
Yeah, that's fine. I kind of look up from what I'm doing, which I'm probably just playing with like dexterity, keeping my fingers dexterous with like coin or whatever. I kind of look up. I don't open my mouth, but my eyes kind of go like solid green. And in your head, this is going to get us killed, isn't it?
Possibly, but if we don't leave, the professor's probably going to get killed, and then we'll probably get killed anyways. So
that is a persuasive. See, I'm missing a motive for why I should care about anything relating to what happened to me happening to anyone else.
I mean, it's the fact that I think the college is going to try to improve the campus, and if they fail, they're going to fix their mistakes.
The coin.
And we would be their mistakes.
The coin drops from my fingers.
Here's another
persuasive.
Another thing to not overlook is the fact that the basic plan is to get a specific group of people onto this trip. That can include friends, of course, but it can also include people that you would rather not return.
Good point. So I will, in the sake of time, I will explain in hushed tones the professor's plan. Actually, I don't know the hushed tones. In my head, the professor's plan, and point out that, like, if you've got any enemies here or academic rivals that you want to bring on this trip to get lost in the mountains, who am I to judge?
How to persuade a renegade.
I stare blankly at you after a few seconds, and then in your head, it's not two-way.
So back to hushed tones. I'll explain the professor's plan and point out that it would look suspicious if it was only us that went on this trip. So by all means, if you have any friends you want to take with us, or rivals that you'd like to get lost in the mountains? I won't judge.
It's fine. Just as long as this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you know where any of the others like us are on campus, go ahead and pass things along, and I'll go and try to find somebody else. We'll meet back up at Professor White's in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah. Why not?
Cool.
Incidentally, as the two of you are talking, a man wearing clothes maybe 2 or 3 sizes too big is walking past you, and he's kind of mumbling to himself. He has wispy white hair, wispy white hair, very thin, and he's got this deathly pallor to him. It's like, the motion of the wind going over there, it has to correlate. He's like mumbling, going around poking in bushes, and like it seems like he's talking to himself. Kind of intense yellow eyes, and he's got little cuts and scabs across his face. Like,
I like to think that I've tried to read your thoughts before and got the thoughts of the other thing.
Oh yeah. You don't like those thoughts.
I kind of just flinch away instinctively. There's one there.
I keep telling you.
I'll go talk to him.
Solution to this.
Thank you.
Solution. We got to find this.
Go find a different one. Or if you want to come talk with him.
I'm not. Hearing people's thoughts is awkward.
Okay.
But I could try and find someone else.
Okay. Professor Skin Challenged, I believe, is over in the one building.
I will go to the one building.
Thermologically challenged. Dermatologically challenged.
So I will come out, walk up and go, looks like we shop at the same clothing store.
We do? Oh.
Yeah, the way too big for us shirts store. Hey man, I'm similar to you, and I'll like pull my hoodie out, and you'll see like a keyboard sticking out of my neck. Yeah, we all got problems. We're working on a plan to get way away from here.
No, you're not similar to me. Oh, yes, maybe. Yes, you're right. Maybe he is. Or me. We're going somewhere. Is that what you said?
Yeah, the people that did this in the grand scheme of things to me, and I'm assuming you. I don't know your story, but
people who did this to me. People did what? Nothing's been done to me, and it's perfectly normal. It's just an algorithm. Just nothing. There wouldn't be one of those in there, but yes, yes, we're going on a trip.
Yes, in our favorite rocket ship. The people who run
follow. The people who run the college. Yes,
are going to try to upgrade the professors to being like us.
Why would they want to do that?
Because they're insane. And if they fail, then they'll probably try to clean up evidence of their mistakes. That might be us.
That would be good.
Right.
That would be very good for this campus if they did that, yes. But continue.
Well, to spin it a different way, one of the professors is on our side and wants to get on an expedition up to some dangerous mountains where we will be presumed dead. And if you think it's good that presumed is not presumed with you, more power to you. You die your best death. But
yes.
But right now, if you wouldn't mind tagging along with me to this professor that wants us to get out of here.
Yes, the professor
who
wants us to get out of here. Yes, that would be for the best. Yes. Where are we going? To the professor, and then we're going to
Professor White's office. While
Professor
the gentleman
White.
I was just sitting with, who was having coffee, he's gonna go find another one that's like
he's
us.
a bad apple. Yes, but do go on.
I did not test his firmness or smell him, so I don't know how bad of an apple he is. But and then we are going to meet up at Professor White's office, and he's going to bring another person. And then from there, we're going to figure out how we can pull strings to get on this expedition to the dangerous mountains. where some of us will fake our deaths and some of us might decide to retire to the mountains.
That sounds delightful. I would very much like to retire to the mountains.
Wonderful. Then right this way, sir. And I'll
Of
start
course.
leading him towards Professor White's office.
Oh, look, she will be dead within 5 days.
So sad.
Yes.
Anyway.
It will be on her own volition, I'm sure. Anyway, where are we going? Yes, Professor
Tommy.
White. Professor White. Yes.
So, exit scene.
I must
on the run.
apologize. I must apologize.
That was fantastic, both of you. So, it was a lot of fun to watch. All right. Team not creepily whispering at
How do
random
we
passersby
follow that
about their
up?
death.
I don't.
I'm sorry. Method actor.
So I'm in my office, my lab, and I'm presently probably only wearing blood spattered tidy whities. I'm up the wall in the far corner with several surgical tools sitting on a high shelf. Back to the door, holding something that I keep sort of just reaching over and like grabbing tools and working on. Tools bag.
I guess there'd be a knock on your door then. And a second knock, quite slightly louder.
I'm working.
Well, we can work and talk. Doc, are you a doctor? Through the door, obviously.
Yes. Are you sick?
Do you want to be?
Yeah. Not with anything you can cure. Or anyone can cure anymore.
What I can cure.
Mortality, by the sounds of it.
Just a moment. You hear some scuttling. I sort of race across the roof, reach down, open the door, and go back across the roof back to my corner.
Okay, I step in. I don't really look up. I'm looking more around and taking in the horror. And I thought I had problems.
What do you want?
Well, to be blunt, we are similar, you and I.
Oh, really?
I suspect. But it's pretty... I know. And an opportunity has come up where we may get to deny those who did this to me, maybe did it to you, from, doing what they want to do.
I do a backflip out of the corner, land facing my associate here. Now, have we ever met prior to this?
Probably not. I'm a music student. I probably keep to the music crowd.
I'm gonna
Or
set
kept
down
to the music crowd.
the two-headed calf corpse that I've been sort of dissecting over in the corner, just on a table next to us.
There's kind of the barest hint of a fear reflex starting in you. I don't hide the shock very well anyway. So, and I kind of, as I get myself under control, the fear reflex fades.
Okay. I scrape a little bit of pus off my cheek and flick it on the ground and say, "Why would I want to do that?"
Well, it's that or they kill you.
Well, I mean, that doesn't sound like it would be in the spirit of the agreement that I have with the people here, which is that I get to do my work undisturbed. And as you can see, my work is very disturbed. And I look down at the calf.
The same thing. I don't open my mouth, but my voice in your head. Yes, we are all quite disturbed, Doctor. That is why we are in this position. Anyway, there are several of us, and
Is this
Dr. White.
your voice now, or is the voice
Yeah.
in the head?
So I'm speaking now. Dr. Quietly, like conspiratorially, but
Was that you?
not. Yes.
I'll bubble a little bit over here on the side of my face.
It's just something I woke up able to do one day. Would you believe?
No.
Well, it was actually, along with the accompanying psychological trauma of.
Can I
Well,
look up your
anyway.
nose while you talk?
Okay.
I'm just gonna tilt his head back and like push his nose up and like look up his nostrils while he's speaking. Continue.
Yes. Well, this is most awkward. One of the. Could you please not? Okay, very well. One of the.
I'm like taking vitals and like.
Yeah, I guess. The moment you come, I assume at some point a blood test will be involved, or a needle will appear.
I mean, not quite yet. Continue.
Okay, let me know when one
There's
does.
probably going to be a cough at some point.
Yeah. One of the Ooh, how should I phrase this? One of the people involved has realized that their agreement with certain other parties that run the school may not be to their liking anymore. And well, long story short, dangerous mountain village and the potential to escape, either presumed or actual death of oneself or another. Of course, it's also going to be horrendously remote, and the world that we live in, well, clearly it's not what we grew up thinking it was, and there may be something or some things else out there for you to do two-headed calf research on. Where did you even get that?
This is terrible.
Yes, it was quite a tragedy when I woke up.
Do you realize how far the webbing between your third and fourth finger extends from the palm of your hand? You have like 2 millimeters of variance outside of the average.
Well, I assume that helps me be better with the violin. I don't quite see what that has anything to do with anything. Right. Uncertain death or certain death? Which
I'll
do you
get my
prefer,
coat.
really?
Would you like a wet nap?
No, it's fine. I'll wash my everything when I can.
Very well.
I appreciate the offer, though. It's definitely a workstation you have here.
I'll walk over.
Definitely.
Just throw, as he's talking, I'm just throwing on like a overcoat, like a long coat that's got like a hood sewn into it, and picking up the two-headed calf and just putting it in my pocket.
Does it have a name?
Yes, cadaver.
Ah, I see. I don't know what I expected, really. Anyway, the professor's office is probably. I'm going to ignore the two-headed calf in the room.
Are you sure?
Try not to think of a two-headed calf.
Yeah.
Are you
Like
sure
I think the title of this whole session is The Violinist and the Three Mad Scientists.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll take out like some blue gloves and put them on my hands. Are you sure you don't want a wet nap?
You know what? The more you ask, the more confident I am that I don't. I'll be honest, I didn't want to say anything, but you've got a little something.
Is it here? And I'm just gonna like spit an acidic bit over
Yep.
into the wall.
Yep. That got it. Fine. You look perfect.
I throw a surgical mask on. Throw my hood up.
Then...
Why would the
Ooh.
university want to get rid of us? I don't understand.
Yeah.
The Toxic Crusader song is just playing in my head.
This is a trauma pick, all right?
Right?
Ooh.
Follow.
All right.
So I guess we'll head up to the office as well.
And just to be fair, part of the reason I was asking about the wet naps is, despite the lack of skin, I still have like all the moisture that one would expect if you ripped off some. Like I'm constantly.
I guess.
So-
I guess there was ooze and stuff. Yeah.
So everywhere
Ew.
I touched, you've got like smears and goo and shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm like, it's clear on my face. I'm not happy with the situation. But equally, I don't want anything you've given me.
Totally fair.
Good Lord.
Oh my god.
One of us can pass for normal, and it's the one who puppets people.
Well, you know.
I think the cyborg is okay too with his giant hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
The good thing you're going to a remote village in the mountains and not
Yeah.
downtown New York City.
Although it might be a bit cold for someone with no skin.
Well, that's true. That's true. But at least there's no witnesses.
Yeah. He'll just coagulate a little bit and be all jelly-like.
It'll be like I'll be like covered head to toe in like sleep snot. Just
Ew.
That's not nice.
Oh,
Travis.
Get like a penalty to stealth rolls because I crunch when I move.
All right.
Anyways.
Peter White's office.
You see, I found that an imbalance in the lymphatic system can cause a sudden drop of consciousness, and you wake up in the strangest places. You don't know what happened.
Was that a laugh in that?
Most of our incoming freshmen have found that experience too.
Interesting. Really interesting that. I think
He's
penis-
absolutely right. It works as a very, very functional anesthetic if you can create the response in somebody. Walk in and sit down, put my bare feet up on the desk.
Oh, he doesn't have skin.
No, he doesn't.
How kind of you to notice.
And he's two people in one, and I guess Bill Gates went to town on you.
Yeah. I got the latest Apple upgrade.
Are you kidding? He looks like maybe Alan Turing might have worked on him.
So that's where the staff room microwave oven went.
And his refrigerator too.
Oof.
Right. So, Dr. McDougan, Dr. Cromwell. I'm glad to see that you've joined me in this little conspiracy.
I was told that we might die if we didn't, so.
I was told we would.
Well,
Or could, maybe.
My plan is not to die. My plan is to be one of the few of us that survives this little expedition. So,
Mhm.
and if there are enemies, you know, it's terrible what happened to you, Dr. Cromwell. I mean, imagine what person could have possibly messed up your notes, and what fate they should enjoy. And you,
I'm sorry, you
Dr.
have the impression
McDougan.
that something is wrong here?
Mhm.
with something wrong with him.
I
Remember that
said, are you under the impression that something is wrong here?
something is wrong with you?
I should point out that he has a two-headed cough in his pocket.
Well,
I think that's the worst thing in this situation.
That
A
is
two-headed-
absolutely unfair
A two-headed what?
to be discussing.
calf.
Cow. Calf. Oh.
I don't know how you fit. I'm trying not to think about this too hard. It
It's
makes
just
my head hurt.
a fetus.
Oh, fetus. Okay, well that's much less alarming.
Can
anyway,
I see it?
I take it out and hand it to him.
What you get across, what you're getting across, is that Dr. White is implying. All right, let's settle down. Enough with
Okay,
all.
Doctor. I think we got them all. So what's the next step? Getting on the expedition?
Just take it back.
Let's
and put it
focus.
back in.
I'm trying to imply something here. So he seems to be implying that the book that was delivered to Albert was was something that happened deliberately, and as was the mix up with the notes that Max had. They were not attempting to cause a divergence on themselves at the time, at the time. So there seems to have been some possible foul play, and Dr. White seems to think that Dr. Helm, the head of the department, is anyone who isn't walking into the destination that the many paths are leading to will be pushed. And that's why he wants to get out of here before he gets pushed.
So you think
Anyway,
That's fair.
you think Dr. Helm's responsible for this?
Yes, I do.
Remind me to thank him before I show him his kidneys.
You can thank him after you show him his kidneys, Tim.
Are you sure it's Dr. Helm who did this?
If he is not the one that actually did it, I'm sure that he was aware of it and greenlighted it.
Is he going on this trip?
Possibly. He may take some convincing.
I can be very persuasive.
Without holding his kidneys? Although, again, calf fetus, I guess. That's pretty shocking.
I'd say the calf fetus is beside the point when you have no freaking skin. Just
Oh, that's what's wrong with him. I hadn't noticed.
Everyone's focusing on the calf fetus to avoid talking about the elephant in the room.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm right here.
Yes. we try not to talk about the lack of skin in the staff room. It's a sensitive subject.
All right. So first things first is arranging to get on the list. These things are apparently not going to be decided by lottery per se, but there's a committee and there's a bunch of bureaucratic silliness, and ultimately they make a decision as to which professors are going, which devoted are going, and well, the security guards probably don't matter to you unless there's someone that you really don't like. Huh?
Devoted?
Yeah, ones like you, but as far as you know, are still loyal to the university.
That was an in-character thing.
So that
It's
would
an
be
in-character thing, yeah.
that would be us,
Ah,
Sort of.
as far
I
as
see.
they're concerned.
Exactly. Right now, they don't know.
I'm gonna pull my mask off. Roll it up.
Why am I seeing Beetlejuice here? I don't know.
So, how do you? Let's say we get through this red tape. How do you propose we get away from all these people? Seems like a big expedition with a lot of security.
Yes. First step is to get on the expedition. Then we'll have to figure out how to make the large expedition smaller.
I can think of a few ways. More importantly, though, won't anything like this require going through customs, which will in turn, and here I'm looking very definitely at Adam, involve metal detectors?
No, it's local flight and it's a charter. It'll be a charter. Not local.
Shows you how much I know about international travel.
Well, it's not international travel, is it? So it's within the
Oh,
United States.
sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not leaving the country.
Sorry,
Nope.
misunderstood.
Okay. So how do we get somebody's beatboxing for a second there? Okay, so your suggestion is that we formulate part 1 of this plan and then formulate part 2 of this plan?
Yes.
That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Well, I would assume part one is find whoever arranges for this and talk to them.
Persuade them.
If only some of us were on the staff and could go talk to other staff without it being awkward.
I have at least half of that requirement.
I could try to talk to some of the staff, I think.
So, like I said, I can go talk to somebody if you'd like.
I think between the two of you, you're both staff, right? You're a professor, and yeah, I think between the two of you, you could go and convince somebody of something.
I can convince them.
and if I'm there, I can help.
Why don't we all go together? It'll be like a team building exercise.
Extra credit.
Oh, I like that.
I'm always looking for extra credit.
Let's do that.
That's always the favorite part of the curriculum year, is when we go to these team building exercises.
Quick out of character question regarding the nature of the conspiracy and its roots in this organization. So, is it commonly known enough that, like, if we approach other employees of this place, that I wouldn't need to disguise myself? Like, I assume if I go out and walking around, even on campus, I would probably want to somewhat cover up. Right?
Yeah, there's a mix. There are some people who are in the know. There are some people who are deliberately not, like, they try not to be in the know, but they kind of know what the whole World of Darkness style of people don't really want to know, and so they forget or they ignore obvious signs. That's
Right.
a large part of the department. There are certainly some people out there, most of them students, or, like, I don't know, perhaps some of the professors in other departments who would definitely freak out if they saw you. But there are people you know who are in the know. I'm starting to sound like Rumsfeld here. This is bad.
what time of
there are known knowers, and then there are unknown knowers, and then knowings, and
You know?
Sam I am.
Is it safe to say that going outside of my office, while unusual, is an eventuality I've planned for?
Yeah, you are able to get around your office. Bear in mind that you're mostly confined to the area immediately around that school, not just the entire campus, but just that school, where the sciences and occult, what is it, mythology?
Mythology.
School of Science and Mythology.
Safe to say I have some sort of a Halloween mask or something like that?
Sure.
I pull out my William
Except it's just a normal face.
It's a Nixon mask.
I pull out my William Shatner mask and put it on.
Oh no, that's even worse.
Yes. Is it inside out?
Not yet. No, that's for later.
That's for Halloween.
That's for
That's for if I have to go aggressive in my persuasion.
Oh my god.
Goodness.
Throw my hood back.
All right. So you're recruiting people and scaring people off, and generally trying to massage how many and which professors are on this expedition. Do you want to pick a attribute, skill, social attribute, and a skill combination to achieve this?
I'm thinking I have an otherworldly connection. I don't think that's applicable in this, though, because that would be essentially my demon communicating with other demons. And I just realized I have tabula rasa with that one, so it doesn't matter. I don't remember what he said to them, so never mind.
You just let him run rampant and just tempt people by whatever means necessary.
Yeah,
You just don't know what you've promised him. Promised them.
I mean, if everyone is all right with that, I'll just let it go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
There's something inside you yearning to be free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
I
right.
let the great corruptor run crazy.
You let the great corruptor run things. Okay. Great Corruptor. Let's see. Just to kind of see how good that corruption is, why don't you give me, go ahead and give me a Scar Finesse on that one.
Scar Finesse. Okay.
Yeah, it's the one making the kind of doing the job for you.
Oh, God, this was so long ago. How do I figure that one out? Scarf.
It is going to be, let's see, it's combined with
Tabula rasa, right?
Otherworldly
Tabula rasa,
clank.
so it's mental.
Yeah.
So it's going to be wits plus magnitude.
That's 2, so 4 then.
And you don't have, yeah, so 4 dice.
All right. And it's 8+, right?
Yep.
All right. That's 2 successes, 2 8s.
Okay.
It's a chartered flight to a resort. People are free of stress from natural, normal experiences that civilized people
Okay,
experience.
can convince people that this will be fun.
It's like a staff holiday.
Yeah, okay. Hold that thought. This is going to be even more fun. All right. Next person on the list. What methodology are you using here?
I'll just go with social checks.
Okay.
I'll use just so I can get my powers used. I'll use my once a session use of Journeyman to have Persuasion 3.
Okay.
And I'll do Presence Persuasion, so that gives me a pool of 5 for this check.
Nice. Oh, your presence is.
My Presence is 2.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And my Persuasion is normally 1, but I'm using Journeyman to.
I know that one. I was looking at the wrong character sheet for the.
No worries.
Presence.
Okay, I'm trying to remember in COD 2.0, do 10s reroll?
Yes, they're
Okay.
exploders.
I got 2 10s. Let's see if they
Yikes.
become something else. That's all I got. But 2 successes. 2 successes. I'm just going around and shaking hands and going, hey, research trip to the mountains.
All right, a grad student has convinced people.
And I have no particular targets because I don't have like any enemies at the college particularly. So I'm just inviting people to their doom. It's somehow worse.
Yeah, I know. That would be good.
I'm such a loyal Renfield.
Oh my gosh.
Do we know who is responsible for sort of setting the rosters for these things?
I'm going to say that you do, but I didn't write it down, so
that's fine.
We'll go with from there.
Just my plan was to approach them specifically and sort of hat in hand, go in just very almost shyly and just say, geez, listen, I have a very severe problem, and it's come to my attention that there's going to be an expedition soon. It's going to be going into the Colorado mountains. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm looking for there's a strange rare fruit that has started to grow there recently as a result of this cross-pollination between various marijuana plants, and some of them out in the wild, you see they've accidentally cross-pollinated further with indigenous fruit, and it's caused this strange strain, and the proteins in that strain are absolutely vital to my research because I need to be able to see how those hydrochlorofluorocarbonates mix together with the synthetic flesh that I'm currently describing, and so I'm going to use jargon with my persuasion and try to convince them that it's necessary that I go.
Okay. Go for it. Good Lord. I'm going to let you get jargon's mechanical effect. Oh gosh. Wow.
Oh, I can look it up. I've got it, I think, right.
Yeah, I don't have it handy.
Sure. And jargon is just under preview 3.
It's part of. I don't have the setting open. Gosh, I'm useless chapter for me right now. Yeah, it'll be under preview 3, preview 2. Sorry.
It's preview 2. Your character confuses this mark using complex terminology. You may apply one relevant specialty to any social role you make, even if the specialty isn't tied to the skill in use.
Yeah,
So
anomalous biology would fit quite nicely. Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
Sorry, I just had the document open. So.
That's awesome. Do not apologize for helping me look less silly.
See, now, Travis, you've admitted it. That's the problem.
And so that would be subterfuge, right?
Well, you said persuasion was your plan, or if not, it's.
Well, I mean, I am absolutely BSing them.
Okay.
But I can do. Do persuasion too if that's easy.
You can do subterfuge. It's fine.
All right, and then manipulation, I assume.
Yeah.
All right.
Got lots of dots in that, I see.
And
so.
I'm looking for 8s.
8s and up. Yep.
Okay.
And 10s are exploders.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. That was cocked. 4 successes.
Okay. All right. You can get yourself and pretty much whatever group of colleagues, apprentices, to go along with this.
I don't know that I got anybody. We did.
Well, you can get your group in, which is important.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I have anybody else that I particularly want to bring, but I'll absolutely say I just need to double check with my associates to see if they need to bring any of their associates. But thank you very much. You've helped out immensely. I will not forget this.
Yeah, it seems to be increasingly popular. I've gotten a few emails about it just in the time we've been sitting here.
Everybody wants to go to Colorado. I think it's the.
You think it's the weed?
Life
oh my god!
finds a way. And I walk out.
No. So I'll go back and let the others know the good news on my end. Yeah.
All right. And that leaves us with Tobias. One that hasn't.
Yes, I don't have any person I want to bring that I want to help disappear in the mountains. But I go to the place that I'm living. Go to my room.
Music teacher.
Go to my room. Kind of grab a key for a nondescript building nearby that, like a shed nearby, and then get my manticore.
Okay. Did we ever establish what the manticore is?
No, I'm kind of thinking that it's just this like really bedraggled-looking mongrel.
Okay.
We'll say like a Rottweiler Labrador cross, so it's kind of big and bulky, but still smallish.
All right.
It's
For some reason, when you said that, my first vision. I'm currently watching Good Omens, so
the dog works as well. Dog works. Dog is my manticore.
But anyway. Rottweiler's fine too.
Yeah, I love terriers. I was just thinking because there's a crossbreed here. It's a Chihuahua cross with a Rottweiler, and it looks so angry. And I was going to say that, and I was like, no, wait. Dog works fine.
Okay.
So I go and get dog, who I've called Helix because why not? So at 3 dots is a smart parrot that understands nuance and meaning. So I have convinced myself that this is the only creature who can understand me and what I've gone through. No matter the evidence to the contrary with Mr. No Flesh, this creature is the only thing that understands me. So I'm going to have an in-depth conversation with it, at the end of which I'm going to tell it it's coming with me and then leave.
Okay. All right. So after about, Max, when you come out of your meeting with the person who was looking increasingly uncomfortable being around you, the longer you stayed in the room, you thought it was your elegant tongue, but mostly she just wanted to get you out of the room.
Right, sure, that's
because you're freaking creepy.
Yeah.
But when you finally get out after this conversation, you find out that someone has put up flyers, posters, advertising this trip as a fun thing to go on. Naughty demon.
For a fun time.
For a fun time.
I'm gonna grab one of them.
Missing sanity.
And apparently people are buzzing about this now, and it moved up from being a small group of like maybe one charter plane, 3 or 4 professors, and like maybe a couple other ancillary devoted and some security, like a dozen security guards, to 3 plane loads of people.
My God.
Charter planes. It's not like huge group, but like it's definitely, this field trip has been upgraded.
I'll fold it up very meticulously and stick it in the same pocket with the 2-headed calf fetus, and make my way back to the office.
There's also on this advertisement, there's a small note that says there's a timeshare being. You can win a piece of a timeshare at the end of this trip. In Colorado, it's great.
I try very hard to like stay mad about this.
And by timeshare, we mean
We wanted
timeshare
people.
with demon. Yeah,
Hey, demons got to pay for their chunk of the timeshare too.
Yeah.
Right. So there'll be 3 planes of security and other folks. You guys are going to be on the second of the 3 planes. It's not an incredibly long flight. It's a couple hours.
Is everyone that we need to deal with going to be on our plane?
Who do you want to be included on your plane? And I will even let you decide which plane they will be on.
Well, is Dr. What's-His-Face that messed with our notes going to be
Oh,
on?
he is now.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he should be on our plane for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't look nervous at all about this. He looks excited.
Such things I could do to that plane.
I have an idea for phase 2 of the plan.
We spread an infection aboard the plane, and they will all die a horrible, bubonic death.
That's such a good thing this is a one-shot. We would not make it very far in a campaign.
I mean, that's
I can tone it down a bit if you can.
That's an option.
Crank it up.
I just want to point out that if I get too scared, my creeping dread variation activates automatically.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Make your pilots afraid of flying.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Bring the plane down, but
Well, what if we? That's what I was thinking. What if we bring the plane down?
I guess some of you want to retire, but not most of you. Give me one moment to refill my cup.
Yeah, sure, go for it. No, we bring the plane down.
Well,
ideally not with me in it.
Yeah, good.
And Helix.
Right. So we figure out a way that we can get out of the plane, or we can survive the crash. We can somehow, some way, get away from that situation, and we drop that whole plane.
Oh, okay.
Because that also makes us look very dead.
That is true.
It's true.
can you tell me something about the pilot?
At which point
Perhaps.
I kind of, I just kind of make like I'm trying to sleep in my seat, but I will activate the telepathy thing again. And the first thing I say to Adam is, I lied, it is two-way.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Tricky. Okay, so how do you feel about the fact that these guys want to just blow up the plane? I'm a little nervous.
Well, let's make this easier. And I kind of just open my mind to everyone. So I can choose to act, as in you can all just talk to me and I relay it, or we can all just communicate with each other. So I'm going to activate that. So we're all telepathically communicating.
No, there's more of you now.
Oh, yeah. Try not to focus too hard on that weird. It's I'm not even going to describe it because then you'll think about it and then you'll focus on it and then it's not worth doing. This is my dog. and I connect Helix to the network.
Hello, dog.
Why are you all in my head?
No, you're
Yes,
all in
no.
my head.
The dog,
What?
while more intelligent than the average dog, it still doesn't speak English. So you
No, I
get
know.
mostly feelings and impressions. And
Why are you all in
His
my
earbuds
head?
were out. We're in group telepathy right now with
Yes,
the dog.
yeah.
Okay.
Why are you all in my head, and why do I suddenly want to pee on a tree?
I can't speak for the tree part.
Indulge in that desire.
you're
There
not
are no
like-
trees right now.
Soon.
So, what are we exactly doing? Are we
I think-
crashing this plane?
I think we bring the plane down.
This plane?
With me on it, I don't see that
No,
going
we,
well for
we
me.
leave.
Ah, okay. How? I don't see jumping out going well for me either.
Well, can we get
How many parachutes do you think they're going to have?
Well, can we get parachutes, or
That's not suspicious at all.
Excuse me, pilot. How many parachutes do you have? Oh,
If
no
I
reason.
may-
Asking for a
If I
friend.
may, gentlemen, there is a much more interesting solution to this. We don't crash the plane. We bring them with us, and then we can just slowly, one by one, drive them insane in this remote territory, and it will be delicious.
so you're saying hijack the plane?
Oh, that's a
think
very good idea.
He's saying let the plane do what it's going to do anyway.
Either way, as long as we get there, we will simply destroy the plane's ability to fly, to leave, and we will be all alone to do this as we want.
Part of the professor's plan required him flying the plane away. He's been practicing on Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I trust the plane. He's very competent. Or the professor. He's very
Will
competent.
this be Professor White?
Yes.
Well, if he can.
Well, he's a
fly-
long-term project. Yes, sorry?
Okay. If he can fly-
It's like the mental impression of a tumbleweed.
if Professor White can fly the plane, then all we need to do really is remove those people that we don't want to join us from the plane. And there are a couple of ways to do that. Now, I personally have no issue opening some fucking windows mid-flight and just letting nature take its course.
Again, I'm going to be on the plane. It's not going to go well for me.
Well, if we can get you three into the cockpit with Professor White, it'll go fine for you.
That is true.
Hmm.
And they do kind of deserve it. For what they did to me, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
If there are too many innocent people on this plane, it would be unfortunate.
Not a single person. No one is innocent.
It's relative. They're innocent enough. Too many innocent people die, it will be a problem.
For who?
And even worse, they will be going to a place I don't want them to go. If they still live, there's plenty of time for me to make sure that they descend rather than ascend.
Are we trying to escape, or are we trying to build a cult for your imaginary friend?
I'm just trying to help Professor White escape, but
Well, if we bring them to this place and they all get off, and then we just fly the plane away, they'll be stuck in the middle of a mountain. What are they going to do?
Climb down the mountain.
What time of the year is it?
It is fall trending into. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's just fall. It's autumn.
okay, so Colorado mountains at this point actually have snow on them.
Yeah,
Yep.
or at least they're getting intermittent snow coming down.
I mean, worst case scenario, a couple of them, they suck like horribly at modern survival, and they donor a few of themselves, but at the end of the day, they will make it to the bottom of that mountain. Whereas if we just open a window,
what if we leave the guy that obviously wants to tempt all these people? What if we leave you on the mountain with them to tempt them? They do bad things, then you do bad things to them. This whole time we flew away, and then you leave the mountain after people have done bad things, and then you did bad things to them. I think everyone wins.
Apart from those who aren't.
the chances of us hijacking a plane, successfully landing it on a mountain, and then successfully taking off from said mountain are, what's the word I'm looking for? Fucking impossible!
I don't. No. Step one is totally
like him.
possible. We could hijack this plane. The rest of it is a very good point.
I have one little question about Professor White and his training in Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I pull my mask off and start fanning my face a little bit.
Would he be capable of flying a plane with a sudden drop of pressure in it?
I don't know if Flight Simulator covers that.
I don't think it does.
Probably not.
I would assume, though I'm not 100% sure, that in the event of a cabin pressure failure, the cockpit would be isolated from the passenger compartment.
Well, it has a door, which helps.
Also, they'll have masks. What they won't have is decompression.
I mean, you get me in there long enough and they won't have a desire to stay there any longer.
Because, see, I can do this, and I backflip up onto the ceiling. I'm not worried about getting pulled out of the plane.
I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but how is a backflip going to save you from a crashing ship, airplane?
I think it's more he won't get pulled from the plane because he's stuck to the ceiling.
Oh, I thought he jumped onto the ceiling. I'm sorry. That makes perfect sense.
I stick to it, like Peter
Oh.
Parker style.
Oh, that is a very useful ability. But what if? Well, never mind then. I thought you just backflipped onto the ceiling. I was like, oh, all right. Well, we were on the plane, so that would have been a feat in itself. But
Right. No.
Yeah. No. Oh, I see your point. This is a predicament. Part of me really does not want to kill all these people. Believe me, that part I'm trying to keep quiet right now. But
No, that's the part that's the you part. Not the other part. And that other part makes this kind of communication really intense for me.
Oh, I don't want to kill anybody.
well,
If we could do this without hurting a single soul, of course, that's what I would want to do.
Says the renegade.
somewhat insincere.
With no skin.
But don't you see how we're being forced into this situation? Isn't it clear that we're left with no other civilized choice? And when you think about it, really, I mean, this is what I'm offering you is a piece of kindness to these people. They'll be dead before they hit the ground. It's not like I'm suggesting we walk up and down the aisles and slowly, one by one, pull the skin off of their faces and show them their own dermis from the inside out. I'm not suggesting we pull out their rib cages and jam them into their eyeballs until they stop fucking twitching. I'm not saying...
Okay, I cut Maximilian off from the network.
See, he had me convinced. He had me convinced until he said they will die quickly and mercifully.
I don't know. He can't hear you right now. I put him in a timeout.
Oh, good.
Telepathic
I'm like
timeout.
pacing around the room, soliloquizing in my head to myself.
Adam and Tobias are probably not super happy about picking us up for this.
I just want the professor and me to survive. So if we've got to screw some other people over, that's what we got to do.
There's 3 planes, correct? There's 3
Yes.
plane loads. So
Yeah, and there's going to be a gap between them. The first will not have. It's not like they take off and go one right after another.
Tobias, you're capable of reading thoughts, correct?
I just stare at you and without moving my lips. No.
No. How unfortunate. That was the cornerstone of my plan. Then we will simply have to improvise. Tobias, why don't you go through each and every one of these joyful fellows who want to go for a nice time in the Colorado mountains and figure out which of them deserve to die. And then we just build the first plane with them, and then it won't be a problem.
I'm gonna
One sec,
look over.
I just need to check something.
I'm gonna look over and go. You're not listening to a word I've said, are you?
Of course we have. Very thoughtful.
Out loud.
The best part was about showing them their organs.
I like that one.
Out
I'm
loud.
really partial to the ribcage and the eyes thing, but I'm not actually a person in this game, so.
I will of course reconnect Maximilian once he appears to have calmed down, but out loud in response to Albert, kind of, it's two-way communication is fine. Actual reading of thoughts is draining. So mechanical terms, I get it once per chapter
Listen.
of a target.
Did you ask that out loud about mind reading or about deserving to die?
No, I think I would have said that.
Okay.
And
I missed that, so never mind. Look, I'm just saying that we have a very clear, easily executed solution here. Emphasis on executed and emphasis on easily. And it gets us an escape vehicle. It gets us a way out. The only thing we'd have to worry about is whether or not the plane's got some kind of a GPS and where we're going to land, because
My understanding of planes is they all have.
I'm right, but like, how do we disable it? Where could we possibly land without having a flight plan? Like, it's not. This isn't 1975. We can't just hijack a plane and go fly somewhere.
I can't speak for the second bit, but when you had the something,
The face,
everywhere.
The pulling the face off.
No, the how to put this delicately without offending anyone's sensibilities. The acid you sprayed from a zit did kind of burn something,
Yes.
which would probably
I have
melt a black
I have
box.
subcutaneous glands that actually export a digestive fluid that I find to be about 150,000 times as potent as that in my actual digestive system.
That is simultaneously fascinating and disgusting.
Well, you're half right.
How
Yes.
much of this acid can you generate per day?
Well, I don't know that I've ever measured it. Do you have a few beakers and some patients?
Specifically, patience, as in plural of patient, or patience as in calm, collected, willing to wait.
I was aiming for B, but if you want to try out A, I mean, I'm game.
Sounds like on the flight we'd have a lot of option A.
And I'm very, very patient.
I haven't measured it, I guess, is what I'm driving. I mean, I've not sat around just spewing digestive fluid into a cup, which, now that I think about it, maybe I probably should.
Seems a very
Please stop thinking about it in the telepathic conversation. Please stop thinking about it in the telepathic conversation.
I'm terribly sorry I derailed this very constructive planning session. I believe. Why don't we? What solution? What options do we have? We have the option of killing everyone by opening an airlock, which honestly I'm still considering.
I'll be back
Do we
in a
have?
minute. I walk
Of
out.
course. What is he going to do?
You know, I don't want to know, and I don't want to ask. And you know, when he comes back, I won't ask.
What other options do we have for this?
So all I can really offer is the ability to creep people out.
So Professor White said that these mountains are known to have some very hostile people that have a history of attacking outsiders. His hope was that they would kill off the people that aren't us.
So we're going into a Hills Have Eyes situation.
Yes, and he hasn't told the other people that are going this, and his hope is that they'll go in with their heads down, taking scientific notes, and then they will get eaten by hill cannibals, and we will be on the plane because we'll see that coming.
I'm gonna come back in.
Awfully convoluted idea.
When I was planning this, I was thinking a cross between the 310 to Yuma and a slasher film.
That's fair. I'm gonna come back in with just beakers, just an armload of beakers.
We have our answer, I suppose.
Sit down at the chair and can you hook me back in? And just start milking my arm into one of the beakers.
That's a wrong verb. Don't use that verb.
And the thing is, like, I'm sure that because of the way that's designed, it's not really designed for milking, and I'm guessing it's dripping on other things that is not the beaker.
Right, sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not,
acidically melted
smell
plastic. Delightful.
of melting plastic and other items. Substances.
I believe we should just let this trip carry on. I'm interested in seeing what these locals might be up to.
You just invited half the
Agreed.
campus to this trip. I assume that was you with the flyers, right?
Well, I took some liberties, I think.
But yeah, I think we let the locals handle it. If you're nervous about witnesses, we could hang back and see if any witnesses come running away from the locals going, cannibals! And we could be like, oh, let creepy guy kill them. And the people saying, oh, cannibals, not the cannibals. They're living their best life on the mountain.
I think this is a perfect solution because our hands will be clean of their blood.
Well, his won't, and I point to Maximilian.
Wait, of their blood.
Right, true.
Because it's not our fault that the cannibals are killing them.
They should have Googled the mountain better.
I'm watching Cromwell as he's doing this. Like, this is fascinating.
You just blow acid out of your ear by holding your breath.
Subcutaneous digestive acid. Why wouldn't it come out of his ear?
Just trying to get every last bit. You asked for measurements. I'm a scientist.
This and more is the craziness you can come up with in Deviant and Renegades.
When body horror becomes body comedy.
Oh,
I'm having a blast.
my stomach misses Scion.
Now I'm imagining a Three Stooges with deviants as the characters, and it's just horrifying. Slapstick comedy and body horror. Just
For most of their films, the Three Stooges did have 4. So I mean, we're perfect.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's true. All right. So have we settled on let's go and let the villagers eat them?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna move forward a little bit because we're kind of halfway through and not even gotten to the mountain yet, but that's the way it goes. I overplanned deliberately. So first plane goes off and is going to try to find a landing spot. Theoretically, there was at one point a open space somewhere out there.
Like a little John Denver, like two banger kind of airport, like a little.
Yeah, just a little thing. Yeah, they're not gonna. I mean, they could land in a proper airport, but they'd be like 150 miles away from their destination because it's up the mountains. It wouldn't be an easy drive either. So the plane takes off, goes off. A couple hours later, you take off, and you get to listen to the radio chatter. They sort of pipe it through because everyone's really interested in what the first plane is seeing, and is a little disappointed that they're on the second plane.
I am going to
That will
spend the
change.
entire flight singing the greatest hits of John Denver and Leonard Skinner while we're in the air.
Nice.
Okay,
Just because I think
that's
funny.
speaking of torturing people.
and some Miami Sound Machine too.
And I thought I was the demon here. That's
That's all right. I'm passing my time just body hopping between everyone on the plane.
My daughter discovered Frozen recently. And
You have my commiserations.
Yeah.
Well, I was just focusing on famous musicians who died in plane
Eric
crashes.
Eric just needs to learn to let it go.
Yeah. Well,
Let it go, Eric. Let it go.
Boo.
Can you imagine the castle that my character could build? The Elsa-like
no,
castle
and I don't
of-
want to.
The pus glows yellow on the mountain tonight.
Oh.
Oh,
You
no
won't stay here
skin to
without
be
drinking
seen.
booze. The slime never bothered me anyway. I don't know. Like, I'm riffing at random, so my two-line filk habit.
Okay.
All right, so first plane goes up, and they're describing they have actually found the village nestled in the mountains, and they're kind of circling around it. There's apparently some very interesting rock formations that are like almost like standing stones around the village by about a mile. The village itself seems to be all log cabins. They don't see any inhabitants, but there's smoke coming out, so clearly someone is around. They also note that there are several crashed planes in various places not too far from the village. There seems to be some sort of weird thing between the stones. Like, they're not close enough to get any kind of readings, but there's a distortion in the air between the stones in a circle around. And look, there's actually a little, very small airstrip that they could theoretically land in. I mean, it's not like it's not a formal airstrip, but it's clearly been cleared out, and almost like someone was welcoming, a visitor by plane, or they use it infrequently, but it's there. They circle and they land, and about 15 minutes after they land, all communication cuts off. There's a little bit of screaming at some point, but yeah.
Mirabilidicto.
Sounds like dinner's on.
Well, clearly they're prepared.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're getting prepared.
And unfortunately for you, after this first plane lands, there's a snowstorm that hits the mountains, and it's just not going to be safe for you to land your plane there. So they're going to have to redirect and land in a town a little bit of ways, 150 miles, and drive up the rest of the way.
How
But the good news, unless the cannibal hillbillies or whatever they are like
Skiers?
Jawas and strip down things, you have a completely functional plane on the side of the mountain.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Just have to get to it.
Yeah.
Through the cannibals.
Through the cannibals.
Yes.
There's people just like you and I.
It's probably not the best time to mention this, but I am petrified of cannibal rednecks. Just throwing that out there.
That's a strange thing to be
Then,
scared
boy,
of.
do I have the research expedition you don't want to go on.
Was that in
Terrifying.
character or
Doc-
Both.
Dr.
but-
White leans over and goes,
Both,
technically it's not clear whether they're cannibals.
Oh,
Look,
well.
all I'm saying is you can eat me or you can keep me, but please don't do both.
Oh my god.
What if they want to milk you for digestive juices?
Oh.
I mean, I suppose
Oh.
it'd be like feeding,
Like
like
you'd be
feeding a
like an
baby bird.
aphid.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's aphids that ants keep.
Yes,
Yep.
for the
Yeah,
secretions,
for the milk.
I'd say.
Yeah. Good
Honeydew.
times. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds so
So-
gross when you say secretions. Like, that makes it gross.
I think
You
my
ma-
accent
you're
makes
the
it
one that
worse
made
as
it
well.
weird.
So our plane that has to drop 150 miles further away, is that just us, or is it a plane with us as well as more people?
The third plane is going to be taking off after the thing that I described,
Oh, there's no
but
storm.
before
Ah,
you before you arrive.
So they won't. So are they staying grounded until after the storm then, or are they?
They're going to be taking off soon, unless something stops them.
now what could stop a plane from taking off?
So many things.
John McClane.
Yeah.
Or a phone call?
A phone call, I suppose.
phone call.
I guess if you don't have a John McClane laying around.
No. Well, how do we
All right.
feel about this? I sense that perhaps some of us are not fine with another plane load of people, presumably relatively innocent. Not everyone is innocent, I know, falling into the hands of the cannibals.
I'm fine with it if it involves anyone who was involved with what happened to me. Otherwise, I'd rather, that they didn't do anything
Well,
to me.
technically, the entire university is involved with what happened to you. So anyone studying there is involved in what happened to you.
Do you make
So-
a persuasive argument?
Are we staying in this small town, or are we going to move right into vehicles?
Gonna move right into vehicles.
That's good.
They're working on arranging transportation right now.
Okay. I would sure like a chance to examine some of the more obscure flora and fauna in its natural environment up front. If my colleagues and I could be put in one of the front vehicles in the what you call it, caravan.
Caravan?
Convoy.
Yeah.
Caravan. I guess convoy is a little bit more military. Not completely
Scientific convoy.
Science convoy.
Expedition if you're going for the science thing.
That's true.
We're
Yeah.
kicking ass for science. Yeah. If no one has any objection, I would like to go make that case to whoever's in charge of organization.
All right. Go ahead. Manipulation plus persuasion.
And my jargon apply, or is that something I'll do once a game?
I don't think it's a once per game. Who has that chapter
It's
open still?
just a merit. So I would
Just a merit.
assume.
Oh yeah, I know it's a merit. I'm just trying to. I don't think it has any restriction. But
So that's 2 successes.
okay. Well, you weren't able to secure the absolute front vehicle. You're in the third vehicle.
And where is this doctor that screwed me and Dr. Faust over?
I'm sorry. No need to get personal.
Hey, Dr. Faust screwed himself over.
Yeah, that was
Exactly.
a bargain he
Deal
entered
with it.
willingly into.
I just read the algorithm.
The logarithm. Yeah, algorithm. Okay. Dr. Held is in the fourth vehicle.
Oh, beautiful.
There are. Oh, let's see how many we're going to. Let's see. Figure on 3 per. So I guess that would put him in about halfway back. Because there's. In your caravan, there are 12 security. The 4 of you. And there are a total of 6 professors, including your buddy and Dr. Held.
And how many per vehicle?
So that's 22 total. So it'd be 6, I'd say about 6 vehicles. So about, oh, we gotta fit you guys all in there, don't we?
Plus Helix.
Yeah.
He's a good puppy.
You put him on
He's
the
the
roof.
best. He smells of wet dogs.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Delightful. My favorite smell.
Well, the 5 of you are in one vehicle. I'm going to say, for the most part, three and a professor in each. 3 security. This one prof.
I have a brilliant idea. We're about to drive up a snowy, icy mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're in front of him and we're driving, we just brake check at an inopportune moment. Take that dude out. And then we run into the snowy woods and we call it a day. I should probably point out at this point in time a little biological quirk as a result of the things that have happened to me. I don't actually feel pain. So sometimes I forget that happens with other people. I apologize.
But I didn't want to mention anything with the exposed nerve endings.
Yeah,
I kind of
turns
hoped...
out that like any sense, that one can go blind too.
Okay, so what you're
convenient for you?
Yes,
works out nicely. I jam a pen into my leg. So,
as before, I'm both fascinated and disgusted.
It slowly starts to melt.
While I applaud your enthusiasm, I think there's just not that much suffering in having him die in an accident like this. This is a man we want to torture quite thoroughly before we rid ourselves of him, after all.
I mean, do we? Is that a thing we want to do?
Yeah, do we?
Is that...
That's a thing he wants to do.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I said we. I didn't imply the rest of you.
He's a duality
Listen,
in and of himself, which is horrible to consider.
I understand that we have a slight difference of opinion about the level of suffering we're looking to inflict on this guy. So I think there's really only one adult way that we can solve this conundrum. And I'm willing to live with the results if you are.
Indulge me.
Rock, paper, scissors?
That is indeed how things are often solved.
Let's do that. Right. Rock, paper, scissors. And I am going to use Albatross, which I can use once per game to win this.
I think there's a lower version of it for.
There is also
that one's going to be a little more appropriate.
Yes, there is the unlucky one, but that doesn't guarantee
that's
I'm
the
going
little
to win.
one. That's enough.
All right.
I would say that with that being a superpower and it just being able to let you win a roulette wheel that you just end on something like that.
That's
perfect. Better luck next time, my friend.
Torture it is.
I relent. We'll pull his fingernails off one by one. That's fine.
I could learn a thing or two from you.
Oh, you have
please don't
scratch out my scabs.
Lord,
there are many vestigial portions of the human anatomy that can be removed with a significant amount of discomfort that cause no actual functional difficulty.
We will use this knowledge you have of removal of vestigial functions when we deal with our collective friend.
That's fair. You won,
all right.
You won the draw, so.
So which one of us is driving?
One of you has to be.
You guys all right with me driving? I'll drive.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. I guess get us
on.
Yeah.
Seatbelt on. I guess
gonna
get us in a wreck.
Maximilian ooze all over the steering column.
Oh, I should ask, where's Professor White? Is he in the car with us?
Professor White is in the car with you.
Oh, So he heard this entire exchange.
I'm not wearing a seatbelt,
yes.
by the way.
Is
He wants
Professor
out.
Oh.
So
he leaves the car.
not out of this, but he wants out of the
Yeah.
conspiracy. So
It's
Oh,
kind of,
all right.
I apologize, Professor,
so
but
He's
You
open to
knew-
improvising.
the kind of people that we were when you asked for our help.
What?
indeed he did.
What would there be to apologize for? I
We're
think
just
we've been very reserved on this trip.
Well, when you stuck the pen in your leg, you made a mess of the upholstery.
There's a pen in my leg. I pulled the pen out.
Yikes.
not a lot of that one left, though.
No pain, no feeling. Sometimes I forget things that I stuck. Do I have anything?
Wait, no
You-
feelings
you're-
at all?
You're
Not
good.
really. Pressure is about what I get.
Okay, good. Because then you can at least feel how hard you're pushing on the acceleration.
Yes.
And then you're gripping the wheel.
5 miles an hour into the car.
All right. So you're headed up in the mountains. The roads are. I'm not sure whether I can't imagine that all of you have been the mountains of Colorado's roads. They can be a little narrow, and they tend to be vertical on one side and vertical on the other, going the other direction.
For your information, I have 1 dot of dex and 1 dot of drive.
At least you have a lot of drive. It's not a. There's no.
I have 3 in dex and 1 in drive.
God.
Oh. I'm palming the wheel and like looking over my shoulder while I'm driving.
What is it? 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's high noon at one hand.
Okay.
Fortunately, though, I do have brachiation, so it's not like the wheel's gonna slip if I don't want it to.
But it is slowly melting in your hand.
that's probably true. Oh gosh,
it's
they're not
just
getting their deposit back on the rental. That's for sure.
Just a little sticky, like if you leave your windows up in a very, very hot summer day when you first get in.
Okay, go ahead and do this. Like,
All right, so
seatbelts on, we all brace.
okay,
Boy.
so you're slamming on the brakes to try to get the car behind you to rear end you.
Oh, are we? I thought we weren't doing that.
Oh, we're not?
What
I
are you
thought we
doing? Or you're just driving up the mountain.
I figured we'll have a better opportunity of torturing this guy if we're not in cars. So
Yeah, he said not to do that because of
Oh.
torture. That's why we threw the rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, okay.
We're being more cautious because of torture.
Right.
You can't
yeah.
torture them what you killed instantly.
It's an
Okay.
investment in future torture.
Does it pay torture dividends? What's the torture rate of return?
We'll find out. So yeah, I'm not gonna brake
That's what
check him.
industry I work in.
I'm not gonna brake check him. I'm just not driving very carefully because I have very poor risk awareness as a result of my.
You guys get about pretty decent distance up. When you get to about 30 miles away from your destination, there start to be some problems. And for once, it's not the demon's fault. The road is too narrow to fit more than 1 car at a time at this particular point. For some reason, it looks like at some point one of the lanes completely like crumbled into the mountain. You notice as you're driving up this mountain that there are the bodies of various vehicles in the valley below where they have fallen off the road over the years in various stages of decay. And that's something to give you pause when you find out that the rearmost car has gotten a flat tire. And they don't want to stop for everyone for the back car of the lot. But it stops, and so now you're down to only you were at 5 cars or 6 cars before. You're now down to 4 cars or 5 cars. I can't remember how we were talking about off by 1 errors before we started today.
Yes.
I'm having problems with that today. I can't count cars, even though they're right in front of me.
This changes
So-
things. Do we want to?
or do we
then
want
it
to
starts
see
to
what the situation in Dr. Helm's car is? I'm figuring that you guys have a problem with Dr. Helm. Do you want me to see what the situation in his car is?
Oh, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Don't. And I just collapse comatose because I body snatch. Just someone in his car, whoever's driving.
Okay. So they're having a discussion about what they're going, how they're going to convince, or convince might be a little too nice a word. But yeah, they're basically trying to decide on how to get Dr. White to become a deviant for himself, because being self-made is the only made, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
And the security folks in the car are, sort of the elite of them, the ones that are usually in charge of the guards, and so usually perform the heavy sedation plans and so on. So they're just discussing, when they get back to the airport.
Yeah.
They're just going to do it in the airport before they even get back to the school.
Okay. So I will end that as an instant action because I can. I might fall a bit. Oh, right. Yeah. They're just discussing how to deal with Professor White.
Another element of this is that they have decided that they're going to keep the third plane load back and leave it in the village in the town to prevent anyone from escaping before they can perform this transformation on Dr. White.
I
Okay.
mean, deal with? Or you mean, deal with?
Well, so they're talking about sedation, but I don't know if you can be whatever. I think it's self-made they were talking about. They want him to be self-made, and sedation, maybe kind of some kind of brainwashing, but they've kept the third plane grounded so that no one can escape until after they've done that.
I was on a little bit of Xanax when I did mine.
Well, they were the really big guys with the guns and the body armor, and people I generally stay away from.
I'm curious. We're here because they want him to become a remade here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What is so? Did we ever stop to talk about what's so interesting about this particular place?
No, it was pretty vague. Just that it was interesting and it was a place that was off campus.
Well, like I said, the marijuana crops have affected
and the cannibals.
You.
Hey, speaking of marijuana
cannabis,
plants,
the cannabis, you got it wrong.
Speaking of cannabis, cannibals, cannabis, cannibal, cannabis, cannabis, cannibal.
Cannabis cannibals.
Exactly.
I just thought of a pitch for They Came from Colorado. I need to email Dawkins. All right, go ahead.
Right?
What? Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I'll co-write it with you. Let's do it.
All right.
Sorry. Go
Give
ahead.
me a witch plus medicine, Travis.
Medicine? Oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
We're going off the deep end
This
here.
is Onyx Path's April Fool's Day product for next year. It is actually made.
Cannibal cannabis?
Cannabis cannibals of Colorado.
When you get the munchies, you really get the munchies.
The reefer madness.
The Grim Reaper.
There's one.
Grim Reaper.
I'm glad I didn't drink. You would have got the spilled milk award there. This, by the way, is a thing that my wife had when she was in college. It was kind of transferred over. The spilled milk award is the bonus experience you get when you make your GM spit out their drink by laughing. Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, there's 3.
3, okay. You do notice that there's some pretty unusual flora and fauna. You see clouds of mosquitoes, or they look like clouds of mosquitoes, except they seem to have a phosphorescent glow to them. You see some very unusual looking rabbits with, an extra pair of legs. So there's some pretty strange things going on with the biology of this area.
Guys, remember all that bullshit I was saying earlier back at campus about the weed plants and the biology? Look out the window. Apparently, I was not bullshitting.
You know, it kind of looks like,
Pointed out to them.
I don't want to say Zilla because that was a terrible film, but it kind of looks like Zilla happened here. Zilla being that early 2000s Godzilla movie.
You don't think that there's a kaiju around here, do you?
More the radiation.
Oh,
I was trying to get that across, and people expect me to talk in a certain manner, being a student, and I try to fit in with the students, and it doesn't work all the time.
that's okay.
I recall that film. It was very bad.
Well,
We're
this
talking
is all,
about the 2001, yes.
this
Yes,
is
yeah.
all fascinating, but does this change our plan?
How do we deal with if it is radiation? How do we, as what we are now, deal with it?
I would assume it would have very little impact on me.
Well, you wouldn't be able to feel it if it did.
It could still kill you though if it was radiation.
I would assume it would mess with my computer systems.
Oh, it'd be like
I
an
haven't the faintest
electromagnetic
idea.
pulse.
Yeah,
They'd have to reboot you.
they would have to reboot me.
I only have loafers. I'm sorry.
Does that thing get Wi-Fi?
Not yet, but I hope once we get out of here, I was going to talk to the professor. I nod at the guy that's right there about maybe getting an upgrade.
So you have to be like physically wired into something to affect it?
No, I can just upgrade myself. I just only have enough juice every day to do it about once. I can make myself smarter. I can make myself stronger, but just about once a day.
So you can't like
It's
hack
kind of useful.
like their car's computer and shut the engine off. Or
Not
something like
not currently, but maybe with some upgrades. Good idea.
that. You know, Doc, you might want to think about maybe just giving in and getting this procedure done, because apparently
Don't do it.
you built a.
Yeah.
You built
he built like
You built the TI-85 of cyborgs. I'm just saying.
Oh gosh, trash 80 actually. Anyway,
like the $6 man.
We can't rebuild him.
We can rebuild him. It will make him stronger.
His model is no longer in production.
we no longer support this software or hardware.
Warranty is expired.
No user service only comes inside.
I'm just saying maybe they could do something with what's going on up here. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we keep pushing forward for now and just keep our eyes on the weird wildlife.
Yeah, I don't. This
Wacky
is
wildlife.
not
It starts to snow.
the stage
And
at
snow
all.
and snow. And
I
snow
really
and
want to
snow.
meet
The
these
blizzard's there,
cannibals.
It's coming down the mountain now.
These cannibals sound like your sort of people.
Cannibals. I tell ya. Where do you get the idea that they're cannibals? Wait, I basically fed you that information. Never mind. All right.
Don't feed the cannibals.
Yep.
Or
There's
you could defeat them,
a.
the slowest person.
Out of curiosity, are you using Body Swap to get some idea of what's going on or what they're talking about in the cars nearby, so that you can keep up on current events?
If we
Don't
have,
keep moving.
yes, after this inciting thing where there's clearly some weird shit going on, the car at the back's broken, so we can't get back anymore. I will definitely be, for as far as anyone in this car is concerned, I just keep falling comatose. Extreme narcolepsy, and then I come back and there's a bit of information, and I'm gone again.
I wonder if he feels any. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. The rear car is no longer responding to communications. They've stopped talking. The fifth car is just having some. One of its lights has gone out. They said that there was some object that struck it. I'm not quite sure what. But it's the lead car that everyone is particularly worried about when it suddenly slides off the road in a patch of ice and goes careening downward into the abyss, leaving 4 cars.
We're gonna miss our opportunity.
Couple of things, Maximilian. There is a bit of ice on the road up ahead.
Thank you.
Give me your winch plus drive.
Can I throw myself out of the car?
Let's just speed this up, wind the window down, and leap.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
which
the
drive?
other way. The
That's
other
a
way.
whole extra die.
Not down the hole or the hill.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. You managed to avoid the patch of ice causing you to slide off the edge there. Oops.
How unfortunate for those people.
Yeah, also the back 2 cars, the rear car is no longer responding. And the 5th car, something hit them. Which I realize I could have led with. I probably should have led with, actually, but
Which is why I'm
my
saying
skin, the ice was more important than self-preservation.
we should act now. We're gonna lose our chance.
All right. So what do you suggest we do?
I suggest we slam on the brakes.
Yeah, because we're car 3, right? And then the target's car 4.
Yep.
So car,
Okay.
they're actually the rearmost car right now that's with this
They
little
are.
convoy.
So nobody behind them's going to see us stop.
Right.
Car 1 and 2 is going to pull ahead and lose us in the snow.
I guess it's a perfect opportunity. Then.
Awesome. Bang. Like, I mean, the soon
And
as he says, I guess.
As you say, awesome, I start like, but do you know how to? And then the bang happens. And I'm like, keep control of the car.
Gosh. All right.
Travis, I love how your character's version of democracy works. As soon as the majority seem to be on board,
I will wait until the opinion changes. Oof.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
It's a
so
man
some
of
evasive
action.
action is going on. Give me a witch plus drive again.
All right.
There's no way that they can see this coming, but
Right. Can I spend a willpower on it?
oh yeah.
I would like to do so. That gives me what?
3 dice, I think.
I believe 3.
Yep, 3 dice.
All right. That's 1.
Too many World of Darkness games in my head. Too many.
Too many games, yeah.
Yeah.
And variations on the various World of Darkness.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 successes.
Okay. Well, the professor, Dr. Held's car, does not stop in time and slams into you, disabling both of your vehicles. He doesn't die horribly, but their front end is gone and the radiator is leaking all over the place. And your back wheels have been compromised, so they're not going anywhere in this vehicle. And it is at that moment that you hear some sort of a rumbling sound a little higher up and to your right, but a little bit past behind you.
Like up the side of the mountain?
Up the side of the mountain, but not directly right to you, but a little bit back.
Do you mean like a avalanche?
Well, rock slide, but yeah, same sort of thing.
Okay, we got to be quick. Which seat is the target in?
He is in the passengers, at least the front seat, front passenger side.
Okay, so am I. I get out and I toggle enhanced speed in order to zoom to the car.
Okay. You get to the car, you see that the rock slide is coming not toward this vehicle, but it's going to fall on the one behind you and probably wipe out the entire road, or at least making it passable.
Oh, so it's not going to hit the enemy car? It's going to block them in with us?
The car number 5 is probably going to get hit. Cars number 3 and 4, which is the car you're in and the one that your target is in, are not in any immediate danger.
Perfect.
But it will
Perfect.
prevent you from driving back.
That's
I mean, how
as-
unfortunate that they
Even
would
though,
die.
of course, it's not relevant because your vehicles are both destroyed.
Right. The lack of wheels is probably going to have an impact on that too.
Yeah.
If possible, once I see him sort of dash over, I would like to leap like onto the hood of their car, or the roof of their car, rather.
Okay. All right. On the roof of the car. What are you doing with that?
No, just getting there, you know.
Oh, just getting there. Okay.
Good.
Well, they have. He has 3 security guards in there, with the kind of slightly heavier ones, but they just got in an accident and they have no reason to suspect that it was intentional.
Kind of look at. Is it Albert?
Currently I'm looking very confused and frightened.
Yeah, I don't. This. What's going on?
Where are we?
If they're sitting back in car 3 confused,
I see.
I try to open the passenger door.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's let's see. They wouldn't have put it. Well, they probably put it out of gear already, but so it's unlocked.
Yeah.
Put those auto unlocks when you put it out of gear.
Is there a windshield remaining?
Yes, it wasn't at high speed crash. It was just enough to to total the vehicles.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that's the one I'm looking at. Okay. Okay, so when I open the door, I'm gonna be like, more rocks are coming. Come. Trying to get the guy to get out of the car with me.
He gets out. He looks a little shaken and stunned by by this whole situation, and sort of staggers out a little bit. And the driver and the 2 others are getting out as well.
So is he getting out first?
Yes, he's getting out first. The other 3 will be getting out soon.
All right. So as soon as he's up, I'm going to, since his back is to me, I would like to grab him like so.
Okay.
If I can, using brachiation to help with my grip.
Are you doing it to the professor or one of the guards?
The professor.
Okay.
Okay. Doesn't really provide a bonus per se, but go ahead and give me your.
I mean, I just want to be sticky on his face. Is really what I'm.
Okay. So basically, touch attack.
Well,
you have terrible stats.
yeah,
for this, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I mean the ultimate idea is that my hands will be on either side of him as I let go of as I milk myself onto his face.
Okay. Well, for the moment, it would be Dex plus Brawl.
Okay.
You don't have a defense because he's not expecting this at all.
Okay.
So you don't have a lot of dice with that, I'm afraid. Because
I sure don't.
Brawl, and really 1 die. Your chance die territory. Whee!
Dex and Brawl.
Yeah. Well, Strength and Brawl wouldn't be much of an improvement for you either. So
No, it'd be the same
same
thing.
number of dice. Yeah.
Okay. That's just for the grabbing, though, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because the actual attack I'm going to be doing is when I let go of this stuff on him, which is a different attack, right? That was a 2.
Yeah, that's not the best way of doing that. So far, no one seems to realize that. The good news is no one seems to realize that what you were planning.
Okay.
What are others doing while this little scuffle is happening?
Oh, Tobias, I had you in calculus.
Yes,
God.
yes, Professor, you did. I'm gonna.
Oh no. No.
I'm just gonna kind of project my thoughts into his head. We need the other one back.
Oh.
No, we want to talk to the demon, Tobias. Jeez.
And I just kind of twitchily step out of the car. It's like, no. What's going on? Just kind of jerkily walking over to the other car.
So the professor probably turned his face to look at Travis's character who's trying to reach for his
Yeah.
face.
As I'm just kind of
Okay.
grabbing his cheeks.
I'm gonna try to grapple him from behind,
Okay.
like Metal
Now
Gear
it's
Solid
deck plus
style.
brawl. Oh yeah,
Okay.
you got your thing. Okay.
I have choke.
You actually have. Yeah, you have things for this.
I'm actually not bad at this.
No.
Great.
So my strength plus brawl base, I'm not doing a boxing maneuver, is
Yep.
7 die. So
Mhm.
what is his defense?
We're gonna say 2.
Cool. So 5 dice. You know what? We're getting towards the end, and this is important. I'll spend a willpower.
Okay.
Okay. 3. So probably got a grapple, but unless his stamina's 1, choke doesn't work yet.
Okay. But it's a cumulative.
It is cumulative. I get to do the
Yep.
full Metal Gear Solid.
What are you doing?
Now
Okay,
that-
but
oh, go ahead.
combat started.
Yep. So we get like initiatives, or how's that gonna run?
I suppose we could do initiatives.
Right? Let me see.
Now I need to get a spreadsheet out. Nah, I'll do it. It'll be okay.
Here we go. So it's D10 plus initiative, right?
Yes.
What was the thing about adding scar power if you've got a scar-free variation?
You decide whether you're physical, mental, or social, and
Okay.
that's the set of stats you use. It's
Okay,
when you
only
first
so
create it.
I have extreme speed as a
Mhm.
as my scar-free variation, which gives you an initiative bonus
Right.
equal
So
to the
are you
scar.
tying it to your physical, your mental, or your social? You just,
Uh,
you decide when you created the character, but if you didn't decide, you can decide right now.
It'd be physical because it's
Okay.
dexterity stuff for me.
Okay. All right. So it would use your for scar power. It's going to use strength. For scar finesse, it's going to use scar finesse is probably not going to be relevant because it's not going to be doesn't have a scar.
Cool. I'll just make a note of that.
I got a 14.
Okay. Okay. So, I'm going to go around the table in a second once I have all my characters here. Okay, I was laughing about making a spreadsheet, but I'm totally making a spreadsheet. All right, and then the professor, the other professor. All right, Travis.
8.
Christian.
I got 8 too as well.
Ryan.
17. 9
job.
plus
No,
2
it's
plus my initiative 6.
Good job.
Oh, it's great.
Wow.
6. That is impressive in a fashion.
My initiative is 2.
Can you guess what I don't have? It might be health.
That's
Sorry
I
about
have
the
a
car
lot of that.
accident thing.
I'm
All right.
hardy. Let's see. Yeah, hardy, iron stamina, and health 7, so I should be fine. I hope.
You're pretty good. Yeah, not bad.
All right, Ryan.
It's just a vessel.
Yes. I'm going to keep it simple for a given value of simple. I can see that Maximilian's. Who has Dr. Helm?
Um.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the target. I'm
Yep.
clearly doing like a chokehold.
Okay. I won't even get out. I'll just kind of lean out of the car because I'm definitely using it as cover. Kind of make eye contact with him, and I'll just do creeping dread at because I assume you don't have to do, if you have it more than one magnitude, you don't have to do all the effects.
I'm not sure what you mean by.
So I've got
Doing
I've got
the
magnitude 2 creeping dread, but I could just do
Yep.
the level 1 effect without.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would just kind of lean out of the car, make eye contact with him, and then kind of draw on the fear I remember feeling when I was on the slab being operated on, kind of a half-conscious state, and just insert that, completely heedless of any, sense of common decency, straight into his brain. So essentially, he gets a where's my scar for this one? A level 2, a penalty of 2 on breaking points, and a attempts to intimidate or frighten him have a bonus of 1.
Okay.
That's some of the crow type shit.
And then I'll get back in the
Nice.
car, pull myself back in through the window.
Terrify him. All right.
Nice.
I'm not gonna make too much to do about that. It's a baseline. All right. And he wasn't expecting this. All right. Find the mouse. It's on these two screens. Okay. One of the security guards, all 3 security guards go on 14, 12, and 12, are going to start pulling out pistols. Professor White is going to struggle. Jeez. Okay. Okay.
I just thought of something.
Hmm.
These guys are all about being self-made, right?
He is all about being self-made.
Do we know for sure whether or not he is?
A deviant?
Yeah.
Not to your knowledge.
Right.
It's going to be a surprise if he is.
Grow tentacles. Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, no.
Oh my. All right. So, right, okay. Professor White is going to cower. Travis,
Yes.
next.
So the guards just drew guns?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to hit him since he's being held and
Mhm.
he's cowering. I'm going to hit him right in his stupid face with a caustic, pressurized, what's the word I'm looking for? Deadly ichor.
Well, a deadly ichor is a defensive thing, unless you're cutting yourself. That's sort of wacky.
I don't feel pain.
It's true. Okay.
So, yeah, I'll bite my hand at him. I bite
All
my
right.
thumb at you, sir.
Take some lethal damage. Not usually the way this is used, but that's fine. To make an attack.
I'll take 1 lethal. What does he get? Or what do I roll?
What is it set up for? What is the type of lash that it is?
It's a ranged lash. It's
Is
pressurized
it based
corrosive.
on? Is it based on athletics because you have no firearms?
Yeah.
Athletics plus dex. Plus willpower, I'm guessing. 'cause-
Yeah, I can spend a willpower. That's fine. Do I
Yeah,
get
you do
any
that.
bonuses because he's grappled and cowering?
He doesn't get defense.
Okay.
Hopefully, you don't accidentally spray your buddy who's got him in a chokehold.
I
Right?
mean, that'll help. That'll help with me persuading the guards. I wasn't trying to hit him. I was trying to save him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's nothing. It's nothing. I got nothing and a 1.
Okay.
Oh
I
God.
don't know if that matters.
How much damage do you do to me?
Probably a lot.
That is really good.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, speaking of the Three Stooges, I think that is going to you're going to get sprayed by acid.
Does my natural armor of 1 help at all?
Yes, armor does actually provide protection against acid.
Okay, so it saves me against, I think,
Very
1
good.
damage, right?
Yes, it reduces the damage by 1 for a number
How much
of
you
turns. Yep. So yeah, you have acid on you. That was supposed to be on the target that you were supposed to be strangling.
Oops.
Christian.
Yeah, Travis, did you leave the beakers of acid somewhere that you?
Did you skip my initiative?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm
at 11.
Travis
Oh,
and
yeah.
Nate are. You're at 11.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. How did I miss you?
I don't know.
I apologize. I did skip your initiative.
Okay, I'm cool with Travis like having gone and sprayed my arm. That's cool.
I thought someone had a 6.
Yeah.
Did I put the people? Oh, wait. Somehow it.
Okay. So since I need to OOCly wrap this up, I am going to activate human clay to move 1 dex and 1 stamina to my strength. My strength max is 6, so my strength goes up to 6. I'm spending a willpower. He doesn't currently have his initiative. I'm trying to choke him out.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, that'll do the job. He's out. The 3 guards are left. You have terrifying powers. I don't think they're going to last very long.
Well, unfortunately, I have a lash, and I put it in firearms. And apparently, according to my sheet, I didn't put any points into firearms. I think
This is what happens when you.
Yeah, I think that was a
No worries.
mistake, actually.
I'm sure.
Because I put points in athletics. I don't know why I'd have that.
It may have been better the other direction, so it could have been athletic slash. Range slashes are either athletics or firearms.
Oh, then I just didn't change the definition. That makes more sense.
Change it when you moved.
No. So I'm just the guards. Are they out of the cars?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They got guns.
So I'm kind of
start shooting next turn.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm just kind of staggering towards one of them, and I'm a harmless looking dude. I'm what, like a 100-pound guy. So I'm just gonna start and like hold out my hand, and then this ancient Sumerian curse starts flowing out of my mouth, and wind, this cold, hard wind just strikes across the chest of one of them. I'm lashing against this guy.
All right.
So that's a cutting and stunning effect. Sorry?
Yeah. No, go ahead. Keep going.
Do I roll the variation
You
level?
roll your. You actually roll Dex plus athletics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything. Oh gosh, hold on, sorry, bear with me. I've been using the other thing recently, so I don't remember what pages or things are anymore. All right.
I can.
Yeah, it's just Dex plus athletics minus defense. So we're gonna give him a defense of 2.
All right. That means I'm gonna put a willpower point into that, so I get another die, right? Okay. So that's gonna be 4. Let's hope this works. Oh, wait, no, it's gonna be 2. Well, it doesn't matter. I didn't get a single success, so I'm just cutting up stones here and there, but just kind of walking towards them. That's fine.
Sumerian curses are.
They're not
what they used to be.
No, exactly. It's been a while. It was more relevant back in the days. On the plus side, maybe they won't even realize
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable was the problem, I think.
That's the problem. Just haven't trained those sounds.
Klaatu Brata not to?
Someone else hasn't taken a turn yet, and I can't remember which now.
I think everyone's done theirs now, though.
Yeah.
All the players have acted.
Except for Helix the dog.
Oh, Helix the dog?
I'm Manticore.
I think he's playing service animal for your other professor.
All right.
But to answer your other question, I left my acid back at the office.
Ah, damn.
Right. Sad. Ryan.
Yes. Okay, so I can. How high up are we? Like, at the edge of the road,
Oh,
is it a fairly steep drop?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything's
Okay.
steep because this whole mountain's designed to kill you. Or someone. It's designed to kill someone.
Literally.
Anyone who's in the immediate vicinity just hears, well, if you're not going to do it right, you may as well ask me to do it in the first place. I'm going to spend 3 points of willpower, which I can do because of my Cephalist adaptation focus, to give myself magnitude 4 body snatch. And I'm going to just puppet one of the guards and run them off of the edge of the cliff.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful.
The best thing about it is they're conscious of what they're doing.
Cruel. You're a cruel man.
I shouldn't think that's that funny, but that's fucking
So
funny.
it's kind of a just ask me the first time, and then a thud as my body collapses, and then one of the guards, I guess, just kind of blinks, looks around, just jumps off the edge. But that is like half my willpower gone.
Oh God.
Yep.
That means you can do it again.
For that too, but it's not like that's relevant in this context.
Sorry.
Oh no, that's cool. The thing is you actually have the ability to continue doing it, so it's active now.
God.
Yeah, it's a directed effect. You can affect. Yeah. Anyway, so carrying on. So yeah, one guy jumps off the cliff, so that guy's gone. The other two, who's actually made themselves a threat that wasn't not obviously a threat.
I mean, I have obviously
acid for blood. Yeah, okay, so they make the ill-considered decision to fire upon you.
Shoot me.
Yeah.
Make my day. Make me feel alive again.
Yeah. Okay, so gun stats. It's not the right one. Heck. Oh yeah, it is. It's okay. It's at the end of this. Right, so you take a total of 3 lethal damage.
All right. I would like to return fire.
And you can return fire on each of them.
I'm not going to spend any willpower on it. I'm just going to, if I hit them, great. If I don't, oh well.
Yep.
First one misses. Second one misses.
Man. Acid shoots, but it doesn't seem to be having as much of an effect as it could. Yeah, unfortunately, kind of dump statting dex doesn't make that great.
It's you and me, Professor.
All right.
No, we skipped David again.
David, yeah.
No, it
I'm
wasn't,
not
that
skipping
wasn't,
it this
my,
side.
that wasn't my
sorry.
turn. It's
Sorry.
That was an off-turn effect.
Yep.
Okay.
That was my reaction.
So I will kind of let go of the professor, let him fall onto the snow and rocks, and then try to grapple the nearest guard.
Okay.
What is
against defense 2?
Defense 2. Okay, cool.
Yep, strength plus brawl against defense 2.
Cool. Okay, 7 minus 2. 3.
Okay. You grapple him. Yeah, you got him. All right. Professor White is cowering Travis.
So each time I use that, I need to hurt myself, or is it active now that I've been hurt?
The way Deadly Acre typically works is that it triggers in response. It's a reflexive counterattack. It isn't really an active power.
Okay.
So I'm allowing it because we're this confines of a one shot, but yeah, I'm gonna have you damage yourself in order to use it as a weapon.
No, that's fine. Can I don't know, just just pull at my face in front of one of them and scream in their face and intimidate them?
Yeah, go for it. You get your anomalous biology bonus.
Excellent, that'll work. So that's an extra bonus die?
Yep.
There we go. Why wasn't I rolling like that? before. That's just the one.
All right. He takes a step back, skids, screams, Wilhelm style, and falls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. So. So that's 2 down, 1 to go. Who's
Who I'm-
currently being grappled
Grappled and choked out slowly.
slowly. Christian,
Yes. Well, is there still one guard left?
there's 1 guard left, but he's being
Alright.
choked at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'll go over to the unconscious professor that we're after, and I'll just sit down on his body right now and wait.
Okay. And okay. Ryan, guess we
Kind
kind of have this one under control. Ultimately,
Yeah.
you choke out the guard or punch him or whatever is necessary to get him to submit. And
Mhm.
you have an unconscious security guard, a unconscious evil professor, 2 disabled vehicles, a rock slide behind you, a heavy snowstorm above you. And what are you doing now?
Because we are now, once combat's over, out of the scene where I activated superhuman
Mhm.
strength, I now completely enter a tabula rasa state, which is perfect
You have memory. Yeah.
because David Oosili has to go.
Mm.
You have
Okay.
utter permission to puppet me as much as you need. Eric, this is fun. Apologies for having to cut out.
It's all right. We'll
Don't
wrap
worry
up
about it.
soon.
Fair enough. Talk to you later.
Bye.
See you.
Give me just a moment to fix screens because they might go a little bit wonky like they just did.
Oh no.
But please continue with the narration.
All right.
What are we doing with this unconscious man? Not the professor we're going for. The demon is back in charge, speaking through the body. Are we keeping any survivors?
I
Not
don't know
to-
about that. I just, as a word of warning, while the rush is entirely worth it, don't ride them all the way down.
Thanks for letting me know.
Good. I start dragging the unconscious guard towards the cliff. Ego ti absolvo, and I throw him into the pits.
Oh, wait. Shit.
Oh, well.
I was just pondering whether or not we're going to have enough food for the trip down, that's all.
I'm a light
Well,
eater.
The village is probably 15 miles away. The way back is about 135.
Oh,
No.
okay.
There is an aeroplane at the village.
And there's an airplane in the village.
Correct.
Oh,
we
I
get
guess-
him there, gesturing
Well,
obviously to.
Yeah, we can just
Professor
chew
White.
a leg off of the professor if it gets too rough.
I mean, if it comes down to it, I could just, putting it out there, of course, do that kind of gesturing towards where the guy jumped off the cliff.
I was under the
Yeah.
impression a human body can survive for days without food.
Yeah, I think we're a little early for cannibalism already, guys.
It's the
I
mountains.
mean, 15
Don't-
miles
don't-
is a long trip, but it's not
don't-
like you
Don't
know.
worry, your pretty
cannibalism
little
level.
head none about this. You just don't worry. Just close your eyes and go to a happy place. Everything
Ordinarily, I would
Right.
accept the compliment,
Real-
but I'm worried if I do close my eyes and go to a happy place, I'll wake up missing something. And the last time I went
that
to a
would
happy
be a
place,
reasonable worry to have.
yeah. And the last time I went to a happy place, I woke up able to, again, puppet people off of cliffs
That's
and
fair.
make them as scared of things as I am. So
Well, what say
that feels
we
good.
pop the hood off of our car and tie up Professor soon to be tortured to death, and use that as a sled to bring him up the hill and whatever supplies we need.
All right.
Head for the
Sounds like a
village.
good idea.
Okay, so you head up. Ultimately, you find the second car, the one that was ahead of you, just outside of what appears to be some kind of a force field or something similar, weird barrier that is generated between the various stones that you saw or that they were being seen from the plane. And it's inhabitants. The
Occupants?
Occupants, that's the word. They didn't live there.
They live in this
occupy.
car.
Yep.
This become home now.
Are missing. There's no sign of them. There's blood on the snow and on the upholstery, and there are a couple arrows, like flint-headed arrows, stuck in tires and various other softer parts of the vehicle. You're outside this force field near a standing stone. There's some weird runes on the standing stone.
I grab an arrow and kind of try to put it through the energy field.
It appears it melts the arrow. It sets it on fire.
Oh.
Okay, that's bad news.
Oh, are there any piles of remains somewhere around here where people might have?
There aren't actually. I mean, the blood trail leads through the force field.
Let me try something. I stick my left hand through the force field.
As you do.
Yep, it sure does burn it.
Learning by doing.
Oh, that's
some people have to piss on the electric fence for themselves.
That's smoking.
Could I attempt
That's not
an occult test to figure out the runes? If they are powering this, if I think they're powering this or anything like that? Or would that be a bit beyond the remit?
No, that's you can use occult. If you're a mathematician, you might even be able to, because they look like some sort of a mathematical formula.
No, then I will.
Oh, did someone say mathematical?
Yes.
I know that.
This looks vaguely familiar.
Would science apply?
Science
Yes,
always
it would be-
applies.
Science need not apply.
Does
Wait, no, that's
abnormal
absolutely
anatomy?
not the case. No. But math definitely does. You want to do science plus intelligence with mathematics specialty?
I don't have a mathematics specialty, but I can do a science.
Someone else does. That's what I'm saying. So,
If only
Oh,
one of
reason
us
I-
were trained in mathematics.
And I'm going to add a point of willpower because I really don't want to fail this. Okay. That is 1, 2 exploding, 3. So 4 successes.
okay. It is an algorithm that has to do with music.
Ooh.
So there's a harmonic, like you get a certain set of tones, kind of like it's almost like a
tuning fork, right?
Not quite. It's like oh my gosh,
Like
it's a computer term, cryptographical.
Cipher?
Not quite a cipher.
octave? No, that's not a computer term.
Where you make it changes. It makes it so that you can't read it unless you have the key.
Uh-huh. No, not frequencies then.
It's
No.
driving me crazy. This is like the most obvious thing ever to me, and I'm blanking on the word.
It's an encryption.
Shibboleth?
Encryption. It's like encryption, and it's unlocked by a musical key rather than a physical key or electronic key.
I started.
So if you sing the right notes based on the timing of the algorithm, you can get basically shut down the force field in a small area.
I start singing "Sweet Home Alabama."
That is not helping. But someone has a music specialty.
Why are you singing?
Because it's cold. Thought it might warm me up.
I see.
Oh, we're in No, we're not in Kentucky. We're in...
Neither is Alabama.
I do believe we have a musician in the group, yes?
We do have a musician in the group.
I flatter myself. Like, in terms of absolute false modesty.
Well,
all right. Want to give me a presence plus expression?
I can do that for you. I too am going to spend a willpower point because I don't want to burn. I think this is something that Tobias would do in this situation. Remove all of the failures so I can count the. Oh my god. 1.
It's okay. It's Chronicles of Darkness. 1 success is what you need.
I know, but I was hoping with 9
Especially
dice.
with 10 minutes remaining before we get to wrap
I
up.
was hoping with 9 dice, I'd get more than 1.
Well, it happens.
It's fine.
So you managed to open up the force field so that you can bring yourself and your victim along with you. And you managed to walk into the elk person village. Yes, they were transformed into elk people over the course of the last couple centuries by whatever weird things involved this. And because you've brought them an offering of food, they're willing to cut you some slack and let you leave.
How generous.
Yay!
Do any of them want to come along and learn and study at the beautiful University of I?
University of I. It's worth noting that they've already had that offer. They've considered it. They have the brochures. And that's part of the reason that they ate the last plane load of people.
So, they have the brochures. They have the recruitment team.
Yeah, they
ate the recruitment team.
It's an offering. Do you want to bite?
They've really taken in the recruitment efforts.
Really? We can set off an offsite campus here. It's fine.
I'll offer them some finger food for their kindness.
Terrible, Travis. Terrible.
I'm right-handed. It's fine.
So, anything else we're going to close on before we fly off to sunny Oklahoma?
Nope, that's it. We're going to run away.
Oklahoma!
Is that where the U of I is? Oklahoma?
That's the joke. It's U of I, and then in brackets, don't know where this is.
Sunny Oklahoma, all right.
We retired
at least our
wilds of Oklahoma.
Our professor's still alive, right?
Yep, the professor you care about is alive. The one you would rather not be alive is not going to be alive for long.
Oh, we can
and
keep him
can
alive for
stay
quite
or go as you choose, but if you stay, you'll become an elk person.
Well, we can always bring him with us. We can torture him on the plane.
Well, they want to eat him.
Oh,
it's kind of. Oh, we've all gone from the stream.
That was my fault. It's fine.
We've. My understanding of the situation is we've bought our not being eaten by giving them him.
Oh,
correct. Yeah.
Well, the one that we wanted to torture, but I mean,
he's going to get eaten, and there's no guarantee it'll be quickly either.
He's going to be kept. They're going to eat him probably over the course of a few days.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah,
These people also did nothing to me.
Yeah.
And we can also just ask him. Can we take a couple swipes before we hand him over?
Just tender the meat a little bit.
I just want his eyes and his balls.
All right.
Okay. Because that's not creepy at all.
I'm trying to remember what that movie. Oh, it was from Nightbreed. Yeah.
So, somehow the demonically possessed professor is not the creepiest person in this group.
Oddly, it's the guy with no skin.
Touche.
I want his eyes and his balls. Roll credits.
Well, everything turned out better than expected.
And then we go start a bakery in Tulsa.
Isn't it Tijuana? No. What is it called? Tijuantaneo? In Shawshank Redemption? Tijuantaneo. We go get ourselves a boat, sail the Pacific.
Happily ever after.
The one-shots are one-shots.
Well-adjusted.
Yes.
Happily ever after we live.
Eric, thank you so much. This was amazing.
No, thank you.
Fun.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you very much. This was a good time. Sorry if I was too creepy.
The game is body horror.
Thank you for bearing with us with our indulgence in the slightly creepier aspects of this game.
Yeah, I was on a Cronenberg kick when I made my character, and then it just got worse in the downtime. Real quick before we do wrap, let's go around and see if anybody has anything that they want to plug. Let's start off with Christian. You got anything you want to
Oh yeah,
share with
sure.
us?
Thank you. I'm the Primogen on Twitter and YouTube. I do lore videos for World of Darkness. I just branched out into Werewolf, the Apocalypse. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then just hit me up there. I also storytell Changeling the Lost every Thursday here on this channel. And I also take part in the Blood City games on Sundays, same time as the stream was. So for all of them.
Sweet. Ryan, do you have anything you want to share with the class?
Yeah, I will be back on this channel on Tuesday at 9 a.m. EST, I believe.
Yeah.
With my show behind the screen to do some Scion community-driven content creation, and I occasionally guest star in Blood City. Sometimes, maybe I will again.
Come back. We need you.
It's all about when David wants me back.
Everybody
Oh,
message
man.
David and tell him to bring Ryan back on Blood City. And Eric, anything you want to share with the folks at home?
Well, from looking at the Onyx Path blog, looks like the Deviant can now be pre-ordered on BackerKit. So that's exciting. I'm kind of in the nice quiet period right now. I just pushed everything over to editing, so now I get to make characters for fun because I'm not quite sure what to do with myself when I don't have a project I'm actively working on. So there'll be more, I'm sure.
Yes, the post project crash is a real thing. It is a real thing for sure. And so yeah, definitely head over and check out Deviant on BackerKit. And I think, based on conversation I had with Dawkins, and somebody is free to correct me if I'm wrong, but a conversation we had on here during a Q&A, if you support it on BackerKit, I think you can still, if you message them after you've done your pledge on BackerKit, I think you can still access the Kickstarter manuscript. But you have to message them specifically on BackerKit to request it. So it is still a way to get an early look at the game. That version is obviously in editing now, so there are going to be changes being made and whatnot, but it does still give you a chance to play the game now. So that is an option that you do have available. So definitely run over and check it out if you missed the Kickstarter. It's not too late. Get your hands on it at BackerKit. Lastly, I'm Travis Legg. I'm the program coordinator here. When I'm not doing that, I'm the developer for Scarred Lands. You should all go buy it and play all the Scarred Lands in the universe because I do love it. So we'll be having some more announcements regarding streams and upcoming releases and all sorts of things along those lines very soon. We did just recently announce the upcoming release of Yugman's Guide to Gelspad and Vigil Watch, and that information is up on the Onyx Path blog. But also, I'll be back here tomorrow, right after Blood City. I'll be doing a Q&A with Megan Fitzgerald. We'll be talking about Changeling the Lost and Mage the Awakening, so that should be a fun time. Make sure you tune in and check that out. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you very much for running, Eric. It was a blast. I love having a chance to sit and be a player. Super cool. Ryan, I love having a chance to interact with you outside of your show, which is super cool to have that chance to do that. It's good to get to play. Christian, it's awesome to see you always, and everybody that's at home.
Same back to you.
Thank you so much. Please be sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and tell all your friends to do the same. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.